Open Your Eyes is brought to you by the Belize Bank. Our country, your bank.
Good morning and welcome to Open Your Eyes.
Start your morning right.
I'm Sabrina Daly.
And I'm Isani Cayetano. Good morning.
And good morning. It is a Wednesday, Isani.
It is the 1st of May.
I had to look twice because I was like, no, it's Tuesday, you know, because of you being here yesterday. But it's Wednesday. It's the 1st of May. We're starting a new month.
Labor Day.
It's actually Labor Day, but that does not mean that you get that day off. Don't forget, you already enjoyed it on Monday.
Yeah.
But we have quite a few topics to jump into. Starting things off, perhaps we can give an official update on the Belize electricity situation. Of course, what we all experienced from Monday to yesterday. I'm not sure if there were any more power outages early this morning. I can say that I was fine, but I do know that there is an update, an official update that was provided via a press conference to media personnel yesterday from a representative of BEL.
Yes, so it was on the request of several reporters that BEL was able to give a press brief, essentially, discussing the state of affairs where electricity is concerned and the purchase of power from Mexico and that supply. I think across the country, Belizeans would have experienced power outage one way or the other over the past few days, right? And I guess it raised concerns among quite a number of people. And I'll say this as a consumer. There have been instances over the past few days where I would describe it as false starts. So you have a blackout, and then the power comes on, goes back off within 2 minutes, starts again. Mm-hmm. And I'm certain there's a huge concern about appliances.
We also experienced that yesterday.
Yeah, I'm certain there's a huge concern about appliances being blown out and what have you. But yes, against that backdrop. So BEL has essentially put into context what we've learned in the past, that whenever this time of year comes around and there's a high demand for electricity over in neighboring Mexico. As you know, we purchase power from CFE in Mexico. But from their end, when their consumers spike in terms of their usage, they provide electricity to their nationals first, essentially, before addressing our equally rising concerns.
Yeah.
I say equally, but it's relatively.
And for context,
yes.
The rise in consuming electricity is really due to the heat, which will not stop anytime soon.
It's a time of year.
Exactly. Right? So we experience that here in Belize, and of course our neighbors do as well. But yes, I digress.
Yes, so that's essentially what we're being told. Assurances have been given that the company will seek other local sources to be able to meet the demand. We are at roughly 100 megawatts in terms of consumption, but they are only able to provide 84 megawatts. So that difference, you're looking at roughly 16 to 20 megawatts that would be necessary for us to maintain electricity across the country.
So what does that mean for our general viewers? It means that you might need to consume a little bit less electricity if you possibly can. So that means if you walk out that room, turn off that light.
It's a tall order given the fact that at this point in time, because of the heat, fans are on,
well,
ACs
there are other
are
ways.
on,
I mean,
and so
I'm
on.
not saying to turn off your fan, but I know that there are a lot of people that probably have the bad habit of walking out of a room, but they left on the light. And those are ways that we have advocated for before having to curtail on our own electricity.
From a consumer's perspective, I mean, all of us use electricity. I mean, it's among the basic necessities in life at this point. You have certain behavioral practices, so to speak, where you walk in a room, if it's dark, you flick on a light, you don't really remember to turn it off when you leave. That's one. But with the use of fans and ACs,
that's another thing.
No, because when you turn off the fan, the room gets hot all over again.
Yeah.
And if you're leaving for a few minutes, I mean, is it practical? I don't know. I'll put that out there.
Well,
That's a
I never
question
said anything about that fan. I said turn
no,
on
no,
the
no,
light.
no. I'm saying I'm asking it as a question, so maybe our viewers could respond to that, because
Yeah.
I'm certain they would share the same sentiment.
I think though, Ihsani, at the point where we are at, I would prefer to turn off my fan and feel that little discomfort than have a power outage for a period that I can't predict how long it will take.
Yeah.
For instance, like Monday, when the power went out where I live in Boral Boom, it was like maybe 2 hours the night. And then again, you mentioned that it took place earlier in the morning on Tuesday. So I would prefer turning off my fan when I walk out the room versus not being able to turn it on at all until we're able to get back some electricity.
Yeah.
But that's what's taking place on the electricity side.
Yes, but the company has informed that we will continue to experience
Yes.
power outages in the days ahead until they're able to address or properly rectify the situation. So expect more blackouts in your neck of the woods.
Yeah. But speaking of Mexico, there's other updates coming from our neighbor. Of course, now this one is a little bit touchy, Ihsani, because we've been seeing news of this, informal news that is, being spread online on social media, but we haven't gotten formal reports of what's currently taking place. And that has to do with Belizeans talking about their safety in Mexico as it relates to cartels or individuals that are suspected to be cartels robbing them.
Well, two things. The formal report is out there that comes from the Mexican media. They are the ones that are covering what's taking place. I think what you're referring to is to hear some comment from our officials on this side. And because it's not necessarily a direct Belize issue, if you look at what's taking place there, it's the cartel versus the police. We've seen this in all parts of Mexico where the drug trade has taken a stronghold, right? And so the violence of it has made its way all the way down to southern Mexico in the Quintana Roo area, Chetumal namely. And we've seen that on, over the weekend, there was a high profile murder where a police officer, a ranking officer, was executed, right? We've seen footage being shared virally of drive-bys and broad daylight assassinations, right? The question for us, because we Belizeans, we love Chetumal.
Yeah.
We love Cancun, we love Merida, we love all parts of that area of southern Mexico.
And Mexico is also a transit point to the United States where a lot of car dealers used to come to Belize and go to the United States. So I actually beg to differ when I say it is a Belizean concern. For instance, over the weekend, you mentioned Belizeans love Chetumal.
Yes.
So that is an immediate concern to persons who would frequent.
Well, so let's contextualize it properly then. Yesterday, the Prime Minister was asked what are his thoughts on what's taking place there. And he did not scoff at the question. He simply said, we got to be careful, right? So, depends on how you choose to take that. It's not like it's a formal statement being said, yo, hey, Belize, we need to be. It was almost as if in passing the comment was made, right? But if you're asking, well, where does foreign affairs stand on that? That's another conversation, right? But in terms of the public sentiment, naturally, we're all very, very wary at this point. Because if we don't go through Tijuana or any Chiapas or any other parts of Mexico where we know that that extreme level of crime and violence takes hold, we go to Chetumal to purchase small items. We go there to watch a movie if we can't catch it here. Small little things like that. But we do it because we feel safe. The threat of cartel violence hadn't made its way all the way there fully yet. But based on what we're seeing now,
it seems like it's
if you ask me personally, do I want to go to Chetumal? Why would I? Right? out of an abundance of caution for my own safety.
Absolutely.
And I'm thinking that perhaps there are other persons who are saying, well, look, you know what? Man, you're not that serious. I could just order something on Amazon instead. I don't know.
Yeah, so I mean, I stay in my point where I say this is definitely a cause for concern.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that we're able to get some more feedback from our officials, especially I was thinking our ambassador there in Mexico, Oscar Arnold. Hopefully he would be able to give us a perspective from his side, being there, what's taking place, and of course giving us an official report if this is something that we should be concerned about.
Yeah. Well, it's something worth talking about at this point because, like I said, across the board, people want their concerns allayed based on their travels to Mexico.
Absolutely. Well, moving on to a bit more of, I'd say, international news, but also it's on the lighter side, but also not really. If you are an avid hip-hop fan, you would know that there is some hot beef taking place between quite a few of these well-known rappers. Now, Isani, I know that you are a music connoisseur, so you'd be able to give us
It's my wheelhouse.
You'd be able to give us the true perspective of what's taking place because I'm sure you're following everything.
Well, so here's the thing, right? For persons who have an interest in hip-hop, rap music, you would have been following this tension that was simmering below the surface for all these many years. And despite the fact that Kendrick Lamar and Drake have performed together, at this point they are bitter rivals. And so in rap feuds, there's a thing called the subliminal shot, right? So it's like I'm coming at you, but I'm not coming at you directly. I'm not naming names. I'm simply throwing out little insults here and there, and you interpret how you want to. But when the gloves come off, but when the gloves come off and you're going directly at someone, then everybody knows what's happening and who the target of the insult or the diss is, right? So that's the backdrop. It's been happening for a while between these two artists. Very, very well-known and famous artists, perhaps the world over, right? A few weeks ago, Kendrick appeared on a song from Future and Metro Boomin, Like That, right? From Metro Boomin's recent release. Anyway, so on his verse, he went directly at Drake and J. Cole. Without necessarily naming names, but the content of the lyrics, you already know who he was addressing. And so that initially sparked a response from J. Cole, who, to this day, I still scratch my head, and many other hip-hop heads like myself are scratching our heads still. Why would you come at someone and then apologize and take it back?
Because he has respect.
So respect means you wouldn't have gone there in the first place. You just leave it alone, right?
He probably
because
in the history
of hip-hop beef, you don't, say something and then you take it all back. Unless if you're under physical pressure, you're under duress. Right? Anyway, that happened. But they were all waiting for Drake to respond. So Drake responds with a song called Push-Ups, right? Where he's basically taking aim at all his detractors, including Future, including Rick Ross, including Metro Boomin, Kendrick, The Weeknd, everybody else. And in the immediate aftermath, he was basically taunting Kendrick to say, okay, when are you going to respond? I'm waiting for your response, right? Amid that back and forth, the rumblings were, okay, well, Kendrick is planning something nuclear. And so 10 days or so later, Kendrick responds with Euphoria. Now, I don't know if you've heard the song. I've had it on stock yesterday all day. It's a calculated and systematic takedown of Drake, and I'm all here for it. I'll be the first to say, never been a Drake fan, respect to the guy. I love my music, I love my hip-hop hardcore. I don't, if I want to hear the girly stuff, I know who to go to.
Wow.
But you can't go in between, mafiosi on one hand and then you're a tender lover on the other hand. Did you just say
if you want to hear the girly stuff, you go to Drake?
I'm speaking as a hip-hop head here, so you'll forgive me. It's not directly a sexist comment, forgive me. But yeah, so the song came out yesterday, and a lot of critics have basically dissected it for what is contained within. So a little bit of background on hip-hop beefs, right? You have, on one hand, when things are exaggerated and it sounds funny, it's comical, respect to that. Then you have when you're going at someone based on facts, like statistics, based on their family life or whatever you know that to be accurate. It's sort of how Jay-Z way back in 2001 took down Nas with the takeover. It was a systematic breakdown of his career and everything about him, right? So it's a similar impact here. And so yesterday, when you look at what was happening online, that was all the chatter. Kendrick's formal response to push-ups.
Absolutely,
And
I heard it as well. But I think one of the points that stood out to me during this feud, and you didn't actually mention it, was a song that Drake put out that he recently removed, actually.
Yes.
That included the use of AI.
Yeah, tailor-made freestyle.
Of course, and that was with
There was a
Tupac
threat of a lawsuit.
and Snoop Dogg.
Yes.
And I think
yes.
that really requires a totally different conversation that is
It
so
does.
important, because we oftentimes talk about the use of AI and how it can be beneficial to us. But in this case, you are using, without the consent, because you obviously cannot, the identity and the voice of a deceased person.
And a living person.
And a living person. But I mean,
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg did come out and basically respond, kind of shrugging it. I saw a video of that. But Tupac, how could you do something like that? It's like if I go bring you, Isani, after you pass away, my beef, and have you defending me when you don't have a shilling in a dollar. Like, it was so wrong to me. And
But
I
Kendrick
think
had the
that's-
perfect response for it yesterday.
I mean, his response or not, I think that's a different
Yeah.
conversation that we need to be having, because it's also it could also be used in the context of the strike, the actors' strike that was taking place, because they
Yeah.
were talking about how these
They would lose their jobs.
they would lose their
AI.
jobs because of AI. And that's a serious conversation that we need to be having. Is this something that we will be expecting in the future? Will
Yeah.
these artists be using artificial intelligence because, one, it's cheaper, and two, because they just can and it's not illegal?
Well, I presume that there's a legal argument to be had where that is concerned. Hence the reason why Tupac's estate sent essentially a cease and desist letter.
But Drake
right?
was also getting a ton load of backlash for that too. Anyways,
Who beefs with AI?
it's just,
Who-
it's,
which man in the history of anything that says we're going against each other beefs with AI? Who does that?
yeah, I don't know.
I'll leave that there. I'll leave that there.
It's quite an interesting one, but if you are a hip hop
Yeah.
fan, I know that you know what's currently taking place. It seems to be much deeper, though, than what's on the surface. As you mentioned, there has been a lot of subliminals being taking place, a lot of accusations, and
I'll leave
I
it
think
as-
one note that I want to mention from
Yeah.
that song from Kendrick Lamar, Euphoria, he mentioned something, and of the entire song, this line stood out to me: "Don't tell a lie on me, and I won't tell the truth about you." And I was like, ooh.
Which goes back to what I'm saying.
deep.
It's a systematic and calculated takedown, right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing, right? And I'll leave it at this, right? In the world of hip hop, ghostwriters are frowned upon, so is AI, right? It's about authenticity. So if it's your music, it's handwritten by you, the lyrics are recited by you, your own lyrics. We're not saying that you can't use a ghostwriter, but you don't have the same respect for it. Similarly with AI.
Yeah, but
And
I mean,
yeah.
that's another conversation too, but we are not going to continue. Moving now into our eye opener for your daily dose of motivation. Isani, why don't you take it away this morning?
Sure. Anything really worth doing in our lives will always have some fear attached to it. Anything worth doing will always have some fear attached to it. For example, having a baby, getting married, changing careers. All of these life changes can bring up deep fears. It helps to remember that this type of fear is good. It is your way of questioning whether you really want the new life these changes will bring. Fear has a way of throwing us off balance and insecure, but it is not meant to discourage us. Its purpose is to notify us that we are at the edge of our comfort zone. Whenever we face fear, we overcome an inner obstacle and move into new and life-enhancing territory. The more we learn to respect and even welcome fear, the more we will be able to hear its wisdom. Wisdom that will let us know that the time has come to move forward or not. While comfort with fear is a contradiction in terms, we can learn to honor our fear, recognizing its arrival and listening to its intelligence. Indeed, It informs us that the change we are contemplating is significant. You might wish to converse with your fear, plumbing its depth for a greater understanding of the change you are making. Writing down whatever comes up, your worries, your sadness, your hopes, is a great way to learn about yourself through the vehicle of fear, and to remember that fear almost always comes alongside anything worth doing in your life.
I love that.
Excellent.
I think it's absolutely true. If you're not feeling fear, it's probably not challenging you.
14 and a half or so years ago. That's how old my daughter is.
I
right?
figured.
I was at this cusp or this precipice in my life. Like I'm at the cliff's edge, right? I'm like, wow, I'm actually entering parenthood. And I don't know if I have all the right tools, or I don't know if I have the mindset, how to approach being a father. I don't even have a house, or I don't know where to turn to, but here's this news, and this is my newfound reality. So that was the fear, or the elephant in the room. And I realized, you know what? To be able to conquer fear, I need to be able to approach it and take the bull by the horn. And the fact that I did that has been one of the most impactful decisions that I've made in terms of being able to step into a new reality. It's the same for persons who, for instance, they're doing one thing professionally, but they're not satisfied. And an opportunity presents itself, but it's like a quantum leap from one to another. In between, there's a certain fear that's palpable. Do I leave what I'm comfortable with doing this to explore something that is completely foreign to me?
Yeah.
Right? And it's the idea of the risk and the reward, if you really look at it like that.
I love your analogy that you use about parenthood, because I think that's one of the biggest and perhaps one of the most rewarding ways of pushing yourself in that path of fear and seeing that reward. And another example that I could use is I love when I see parents just the minute they have a kid, there's a sense of drive and ambition that comes along, and I just admire that. Chef's kiss. I love the sight of that.
Because you realize that you're not only living for yourself anymore. You're taking on a responsibility that essentially carries on for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
You don't turn off parenthood at age 18, right? You continue to be there for that individual, that loved one.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the same could be said about persons who physically move from one location to another. Of course, there are fears that are attached with that. But as I said initially, after you finished reading the eye-opener, I don't think that you should ever be excited about taking on something if there's not fear attached to it, because that's how you grow. You know, you don't want to be stagnant. You don't want to stay in that same place. And even with exercising, it takes tension. It takes that little bit of pain to push through and grow. So I really enjoyed this eye-opener as well. I think it's an excellent one this morning. Moving now, though, into our weather update. Of course, our update is provided by the folks from the National Meteorological Service.
Good morning, Belize. Fair, warm, and mostly dry conditions will continue to prevail. The 24-hour forecast for Belize and her coastal waters calls for mostly sunny and warm conditions today, with high temperatures of 90 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast to 97 inland and 84 over the mountains. A heat alert remains in effect, and therefore residents, especially those living inland, are advised to stay hydrated and avoid outdoor activities as much as possible, especially during the afternoon hours. Tonight, the skies will be clear to partly cloudy with low temperatures of 82 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast to 74 inland and 68 up in the higher elevation. Little to no rainfall is expected. The winds will blow from the east at 10 to 15 knots, and the sea state will be light sharp. A low tide will occur at 5 minutes past 9 this morning, followed by a high at 3:19 in the afternoon. Another low occurs at 11:11 tonight, and a high at 5:43 a.m. The sun will rise at 5:26 this morning and set at 6:13 p.m. The moon set at 1 minute past midday and comes up at 1:21 a.m. The outlook for Thursday and Thursday night is for continuing fair, warm, and mostly dry conditions. In the sargassum forecast, sargassum continues to increase over the area and the chances of more mats drifting onto beaches across the country remains high. And in the fire forecast, the risk for forest and brush fires will remain high. And that's your morning forecast that was prepared here at the National Meteorological Service.
All right, many thanks to our friends from the Met Service. Moving now into our show lineup, we have a jam-packed show this Wednesday morning. Starting things off, we'll be joined with a urologist who will be talking to us about preventing UTIs and, of course, maintaining pelvic floor health.
The second conversation of the morning is about lupus awareness. Obviously, the month of May is set aside for lupus awareness, and so that will be our second conversation.
And what we also can be celebrating this month is Principal Day. So when we come back in our third segment, we'll be talking about the celebration of Principal's Day.
And finally, the month of May is also chocolate month or cacao month, right? So we will be having a discussion regarding the upcoming Belize Chocolate Festival with our friends from Punta Gorda and Toledo District.
Wonderful. We have, as we mentioned, 4 great conversations to look forward to. But we got to take that first break. And when we come back, we'll be talking about UTIs, the prevention of UTIs, and of course, maintaining pelvic floor health. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
For 19 years, SMART has been the pulse of our nation. A journey of growth, innovation, resilience, and unity.
From the first call that bridged distances to the data that brought us closer than ever, SMART has been there, weaving threads of connection across our beautiful land.
We have been active in providing innovative solutions to enhance our customers' lifestyles. Over the years, SMART has developed and provided various services to meet customers' needs.
To the dreamers, doers, and the believers, thank you for making SMART a part of your story. For 19 years of trust, loyalty, partnership, and shared experiences.
As we celebrate 19 years of connecting lives and dreams, let's keep the rhythm alive. Together, let's continue to shape our future one connection at a time.
Come and be a part of the SMART family, where we empower you and our country today, tomorrow, and beyond.
SMART, bringing people together.
Design Depot, your all-in-one destination for transforming your living spaces. Explore the world of GE with our selection of cutting-edge appliances for functional, convenient, and modern living. Find solutions for every paint project, from home to industrial, with our extensive selection of Sherwin-Williams paints and coatings. Safeguard your home with the durability of our weather-resistant windows and doors. Elevate your kitchen and bath with the timeless elegance of Kohler sinks and faucets. Transform your space with our constantly refreshed tile inventory, always embracing the latest tile trends. Design Depot, your source for innovation, inspiration, and impeccable design. Design Depot, all in one place.
13,835,700 eggs are eaten by tourists each year, fueling our thriving economy. Tourism means business.
I'm David Humes. This is Vanessa Humes. We own Ladyville Cool Spot. Belize Bank save us a lot of time. Working with them, we can keep track exactly what we spend. We recommend Belize Bank 100% because we don't have to go to stand up in line, and we can check on our account right from our house. Working with Belize Bank is the best.
Are you looking for low-cost television advertising? Have we got a deal for you? Advertise on Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds is one of the most effective methods for introducing yourself and your business to the community. Use our Daily Classifieds to recruit employees, promote specials, promote your products or services, promote a business opportunity, increase traffic to your website, and advertise items you have for sale. Let us help you to save valuable time and money. Call us today at 280-0013 or visit us at our offices on Coney Drive to discuss how we can help your business grow affordably. Channel 5 Daily Classifieds. Advertise today.
And welcome back. Our first conversation is about preventing urinary tract infections and, of course, maintaining pelvic floor health. We'll tell you all about what that is and what it means and what you can do. But first, we have been joined in studio by Dr. Angie Murray. She is a urologist. Good morning, Doc.
Good morning.
How's it going?
Good, good, good. How are you guys doing?
We're good. We're good.
Fine, thank you.
I'm looking forward to this conversation because I know that a lot of people can benefit from it, even if they don't necessarily feel like they have any of the issues that will probably be touched on. But it's great information to know about. Let's start with, first of all, maintaining pelvic floor health, and then we can transition into ways or things that happen when you don't maintain pelvic floor health.
Yeah, so I heard that you were saying like May has a lot of months, right? So to start off, May is Bladder Cancer Awareness Month. So, you know, we're talking about pelvic floor, but in order for people to know why is it important, especially for women and men too. So the bladder, as you know, it's an organ which is the reservoir of urine, right? So our kidneys produce the urine and it's collected in the bladder and we expel all our toxins. Everything is peed out. So this bladder, it's supported by in the pelvic area by the pelvic muscles. So the pelvic floor needs to be strong enough to support all this weight. In women, we can see once they start to getting older, or even once they start to gain weight, or after pregnancy. So increasing in weight or pregnancy can lead to, you know, like leaky bladders, or like, you know, you start in sneezing, coughing, lifting heavy objects, and you start to leak. Involuntary leaking. Also, you can start like going to the bathroom more frequently, or you can start having like a sensation of like a bulge, heaviness in between your bladder or like your vagina or your and that means that the bladder can come out of the pelvic floor. This is all due to weak muscles in the pelvic floor area, which is what I tell everybody, that, you know, we are not trained, we're not taught when we're young that we need to fortify these muscles because they're responsible to hold your organs. And it's not only important for females, but for men too, because you also have like a bladder, you're also having like prostate issues when you're getting older, and you can also have like a leaky bladder, you know.
How do you go about maintaining the muscles in your pelvic floor?
Well, first of all, it's like, it's a muscle. So deep core muscles. So you need to train the pelvic floor muscles doing like Kegels exercises. If you go to the gym, they are like, the lower abdomen has like, it's like in the abs. You can do your Pilates, like, you know, wall floor Pilates, those are good. So you need to do those type of exercises to fortify your pelvic floor. Prepare for pregnancy before you are even pregnant, because this can lead to all the consequences like the leaky bladder and like the prolapse of the bladder afterwards.
That's interesting that you'd say that, not to be humorous or anything. Perhaps it's a matter of being as real and as practical as the situation is. Most people, well, quite a number, let me not say most, quite a number of people don't really prepare for, or women don't necessarily prepare for pregnancy. It happens. So how do you prepare for pregnancy by doing these activities, these exercises?
I think it should be just part of like your healthy routine, like a daily thing that you do. You should be exercising, you should be starting to be healthy. And like I tell all my friends, do it for your pelvic floor. You don't want to have a leaky bladder. You don't want to come see me when you're getting older, because I see a lot of ladies tell me, oh no, this is genetic. All the females in my family have this problem.
Or it's inevitable.
And I'm like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
You were not taught.
I think what's even more interesting, though, is the association with weak pelvic floors and men. Because oftentimes we have that conversation around a woman, of course, after having a child, as you mentioned, aging or gaining weight. But we never, or I've never heard the conversation with having a leaky bladder with a man. Is there a reason why you think we probably don't have that conversation enough?
Because they don't speak about it among themselves. That's mainly the problem, because they go to the doctor and they tell the doctor personally, but it's not all the men that want to talk about those kind of problems, even with their closest friends. Maybe the wife knows, maybe the children knows, the household family, but they don't talk about those things because they feel like it makes them less. It feels like, oh, it's normal, it's part of it. But in reality, you know,
it's seen as one, a taboo topic to discuss amongst men, and two, it also feels that that part of the machismo, that thing that makes us who we are is being taken away when we're having these conversations in the open.
But lately I've been seeing that more men are starting to like look for help for more and more issues, because they're realizing like, okay, why am I living like under this under this situation if I can do something about it? And the ladies too, because more and more ladies have been going to see me like, why am I suffering looking for a restroom everywhere I go and not traveling, not enjoying my life, thinking that this is it, my life is over just because of life. There are solutions for everything.
That's also interesting, because I think perhaps it's because I'm younger and I've also never had a child, but I never thought that it could get so severe that persons would not go somewhere. What is the severity of this?
Well, I've had patients, even young ones, that they're like, okay, I cannot go from Corozal to Belize City without like, or go to the grocery stores because I have to be constantly thinking, where is the restroom? Or like thinking, oh, I cannot drink water, which leads to the second part of this conversation, you know, like the UTIs and the recurrent, like the complications of this. So they can't drink water, they have to be constantly on this like stress, or where will I go to the bathroom? Because that area has like a bathroom close by, or the first thing that they look when they get to a place is the restroom, the closest restroom. Men don't have that problem so much. Sometimes they can stop in the middle of the road.
You leave yourself.
Well, but like females are like, you know, they don't want to stop.
Absolutely. So we touched on areas that we are now having the conversation about improving or maintaining your pelvic floor health. But of course, as you mentioned, if you don't do so, you run into issues like UTIs, bladder infections and whatnot. Let's talk about the different types.
Yeah, so like a UTI or the urinary tract infection can be divided like, you know, like the lower one, which it's the most common one, and the upper one, when the bladder infection travels from the bladder itself to the kidney.
What are the signs?
The signs different. It initiates with the symptoms like lower urinary tract symptoms, we call it, which is like increasingly in frequency to the bathroom, maybe sometimes, but not always, burning on urination. Some people think that you have to have burning, but not everybody has a burning when you go and urinate. Going many times and feeling like you don't empty your bladder completely. Waking up at night more than usual, or at all, maybe if you don't wake up. And then when it starts to travel to your kidney, you might have like nausea, vomiting, pain in like your lower on your back, like where the kidneys are. You might have fever, chills. It's because it's traveling to the kidney.
So essentially it starts as a lower UTI, and when it progresses and gets worse, that's when you actually experience infection-like symptoms like the fevers and the chills and whatnot.
Yeah.
At what stage do you know, or at what stage do you need to see a doctor? Can you address a urinary tract infection from the initial stage at home?
At home, well, you cannot, it depends, but at home I would say like start drinking your water. That's the first thing. Increase. Don't hold you. I give them like these behavioral modifications and tell them, first of all, don't hold your urine. Don't postpone voiding, because that is bad. Like I said, the bladder, it's a reservoir. It's like a balloon, but the urine stays there. If you postpone urination, where will it go?
Yeah.
It's not like it disappears, so it goes back to the kidney. It has like a reflux. So the urine empties or exits the kidneys sterile. But once it's in the bladder for a while, it gets warm, bacteria can grow. So if it goes back to your kidney, it has a reflux, it's not sterile anymore. So don't hold the urine, your postponed urination. And
you do realize, and I'm not being the devil's advocate here, you're the professional. For many reasons, persons choose to hold back. Either they don't want to go at work, they're traveling a long distance, and for whatever reason they say, okay, well, I'm not gonna go, I'm just gonna hold back until I get to where I'm going or until I get home or what have you. And it becomes a normal practice for them, but they're not realizing how detrimental it can be for them in the long run because of because of what they're doing, essentially.
yeah, like the bladder, like the changes that you can have to your bladder may be irreversible.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know, the contractibility might be damaged, because, you know, the bladder has to have the ability to expand and contract to empty the bladder. But if it's kept distended, maybe this muscle's ability to contract and be able to release the urine, it's not going to be the same. So that's what I tell people, do it for it, especially men.
Yeah.
Because women, yes, they may have like the prolapse and they have the uterus and the babies, but men, they have the prostate, right? So they will have, well, not all of them, but they might have a blockage later on. So that would add to them. So I tell them, don't put stress on the bladder. And I've seen kids and schools, and I've been telling like the parents,
true.
And even teachers, you would be surprised of the times I have to write notes to tell the teachers to please allow the kid to go to the bathroom before break.
That's such a tricky place to be in, though, Doc, because I remember in primary school, there were kids that would simply raise their hand and ask to go to the bathroom just because they're mischievous. And then because of that habit, the teacher would not allow anyone else to go when you probably really need to go. So we touched on, of course, the importance of using the restroom as you get the urge to urinate. But you also touched on the need for a person to consume water, because a lot of times people with weak pelvic floors, they would avoid drinking water, as you mentioned, if they're traveling, if they're going to be away from a restroom, because they don't want to be faced with the idea of having to urine and not being able to. What do you do in that situation?
Well, there are treatments for these people, so I recommend them to come see me so we can help them, because they're dependent on the severity. It can be from minimal, like tablets, from exercises, because they are like chairs, they're like pelvic floor, muscle training devices. So there are steps. It's not always surgery. It always depends, you know, on the severity. Drinking water, I mean, I understand what they go through, so I can't tell them, okay, drink all your water when you're traveling, because it is, I can't tell them that, but at home, drink your water.
Yes.
Because you don't want to make kidney stones also, because that is another issue, and that will give you more UTIs. It's another topic, but yeah.
What would you say is the most important information, or a piece of information that you would urge our viewers to at least stick with from this entire segment?
Well, first of all, it's don't hold your urination. Have plenty of fluids, at least 2.5 to 3 liters of water a day. Coconut water, it's great to hydrate too. Avoid the cranberry juice that they sell in the stores.
Oh, we think that's so healthy.
Oh, no, that's cocktail juice. Yeah, read the labels. It's pure sugar. It's concentrate. Also, what else would I recommend them?
You mentioned coconut water. Can I drink coconut? For persons who apparently don't like the taste of water, can you drink coconut water in replace?
Oh, yeah, it has electrolytes. It's natural. It's good. So I would say tea is a good without sugar, though, because the adding of the sugar, it's what it makes it bad. And if you do have a urinary infection, try to go to the doctor at least, not only the pharmacist, because I've been seeing that the pharmaceuticals are prescribing them themselves. So you need a urinary analysis to see how the severity of the situation first and get the proper treatment, because if not, you're going to be having more infections, and then it gets a problem and avoid everything that's spicy, alcohol, as sodas, juices, because that will irritate the bladder even more.
And if anyone would like to reach out to you, how can they do so?
Okay, so you can reach out to me here in Belize City. I'm in Belize Specialist Hospital and Healthcare Partners. I go to Belmopan to St. Luke's on Mondays, and on San Pedro, I'm going to urgent care and to Hope like once a month each place. So,
all right.
But then you can reach out to me.
Ask for Dr. Angie Murray. All right. Thank you so much for stopping by, Doc. We appreciate the information, and we hope to see you back again soon.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, we're going to take another quick break, and when we come back, the conversation switches into Lupus Awareness Month. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Technology is ubiquitous, and it's transforming how, when, and where we work. Fulltech Systems is placing award-winning devices in the hands of information workers, allowing them to work without compromise in a world without wires, to innovate, create, and to maximize productivity anytime, anywhere, satisfying the needs of the desk-centric remote and field worker and every other worker in between. We are providing the industry's best devices to businesses going through the process of digital transformation. Partner with us today to provide the solutions that will allow your employees to work effectively and efficiently to enhance your customers' experience. Fulltech Systems, your technology center, where you'll come for the price but stay for the service.
Hi, my name is Lincoln Fowers and I work at UMAL. 100% I will recommend Belize Bank mobile banking to everyone because it saves time, money and gas price because gas price is high right now. Belize Bank mobile banking just make life easier.
Shop smart for your Samsung devices in Belize and enjoy benefits you won't get anywhere else. When you shop locally for your Samsung, all your devices will be covered by a 1-year local warranty. You won't get that when shopping with the other guys. When in doubt, always look for the Cellular World seal to know you're getting the real deal. Shop with confidence and enjoy your Galaxy knowing that it can be repaired locally at our Samsung Service Center by certified Samsung technicians using original parts and machinery. Even better, enjoy the best LTE experience in Belize knowing that your Samsung devices are compatible with major local carrier networks. Get the ultimate Samsung Galaxy experience only when you shop from authorized Samsung resellers nationwide.
For 19 years, SMART has been the pulse of our nation. A journey of growth, innovation, resilience, and unity.
From the first call that bridged distances to the data that brought us closer than ever, SMART has been there, weaving threads of connection across our beautiful land.
We have been active in providing innovative solutions to enhance our customers' lifestyles. Over the years, SMART has developed and provided various services to meet customers' needs.
To the dreamers, doers, and the believers, thank you for making SMART a part of your story. For 19 years of trust, loyalty, partnership, and shared experiences.
As we celebrate 19 years of connecting lives and dreams, let's keep the rhythm alive. Together, let's continue to shape our future one connection at a time.
Come and be a part of the SMART family, where we empower you and our country today, tomorrow, and beyond.
SMART, bringing people together.
Welcome back. We are having our second conversation this morning, and as we mentioned, it's all going to be about Lupus Awareness Month. And we have here with us Dejanira Thompson, and she is the Vice President of Lupus and RA Association of Belize. And she is joined by Arlette Gomez, the President of the Lupus and RA Association of Belize. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us this morning, and welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for having us.
Lupus, it's such an interesting conversation. I think we've just starting to see more awareness here in Belize. Since, of course, more persons have been diagnosed with lupus, but I can tell you firsthand, I still don't know many people walking around and really fighting this disease. Let's talk about why it's so important for us to have this conversation.
Well, you wouldn't know many people because they look like us.
Yes.
You know, they look like us. And so you really wouldn't know that that person has lupus by just looking at them. A lot of us fight it silently, you know, daily. So that is why the awareness is very important. But before we say anything else, we really would like to recognize Dr. Fernando Cuellar. He was very, very instrumental in helping a lot of us who have lupus. He has joined us on these campaigns for years. And so we really need to give him some mention and some accolades and pass again our condolences to his family and medical community.
Absolutely.
What has advocacy been like on your end insofar as, insofar as raising public awareness about this particular disease?
You know, every year we say we are going to try to keep our awareness going through the year. We don't just want to be a 1 month for the year organization, but it really and truly, it is hard to do. That's just the reality. It is hard to do. We try to use our social media platforms to put information out and create some level of awareness. But all of us on that executive have lupus. And there are times like this year has been very hard for all of us on that executive. From having our own health issues to family issues, you know, we have deaths, we have other family members sick, and that stress alone really and truly causes great strain on our immune system. And so it has been a very difficult year for us on the executive.
From a very basic standpoint, and maybe perhaps I could get you in on a conversation here. How do you know when you're afflicted by lupus? I understand it's a sort of a blood disease, correct?
No. You mean as in if you want to see the symptoms beforehand?
What are the symptoms? How do you know? How do you know that you're being, you know, afflicted by this illness?
Yeah. It's very hard because it's called the imitator for a reason. You can have anything from fevers to joint pains to just feeling so tired. You have pain in your joints, your bones, your muscles. You could sleep and you still get up feeling tired the next day. You keep going back to the hospital and you don't know what's causing it. And that can be either arthritis, that can be either PCOS sometimes, or endometriosis, or like lupus. So you really have to do like a big deep dive with the doctor to see, okay, what is it that is exactly happening to this person, right? So if you have any of those symptoms, you're seeing that your body is kind of telling you, hey, something's wrong. That's your sign that you should go to the doctor. Because if, let's say, a lot of people get misdiagnosed and they get, like, for example, arthritis, and they're not treated for lupus, it doesn't really help. Yeah, sometimes we do use the same medication, but it's very important to kind of specify on exactly what it is that we have.
Now, both of you ladies, as you mentioned, are diagnosed with lupus. Talk to me about your journey really quickly. How long has it been for each one of you?
For me, I was diagnosed in 2007 after 2 years of being sick and nobody knowing what is wrong with me. And like Dejanira said, what they do is they treat us for the individual symptoms that I'm having at that time, and we're not treated holistically for the disease. because they don't know that that is what we have.
How do they detect it in the first place?
They have to do the blood tests, and
Sometimes
sometimes biopsies, sometimes bone marrow.
Hmm.
You know, so
And
that's
those
how
aren't
they
the
do.
first things that a doctor would do?
No, they would treat you for what you go to them for.
Mhm.
My joints are hurting, so then they start to try to get treated for that and stop that pain. But you know,
Yeah. As for me, I was diagnosed when I was 14. I'm 29, recently turned 29, so I've had it for over a decade. The journey has not been easy at all. Every organ that could have been damaged has been touched by lupus in a sense. I was telling Ms. Arlette, like right now, like you guys asked, you don't know, but right now, as soon as
both of us
we
are
come
in flares.
we
Both
come
of us
out
right
of the
now
we come
are
out
in
of the show,
flares.
I have to go to the hospital to get a treatment, right? And that's just a day in the life. What we want to focus on is that, yeah, this is our journey, but we also want to hear about other people's journeys. We want people to reach out to us. And as for the advocacy part, yeah, we may not be as vocal since last May, but we do have people reaching out to us one-on-one, and they call us, and it's been more like of a private thing and saying, hey, we're here for the support, call us, you're not going crazy. This is totally normal. So it's different for everybody.
Yeah.
From an association standpoint, I presume the RA is for rheumatoid arthritis. How do the two things come together?
because the symptoms are so similar, and the treatment.
And sometimes people that have lupus also have RA.
Yeah, you have both.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Wow.
you can be diagnosed with both.
So the association is essentially a platform or a space for persons struggling with lupus to know that there is a community. There is a village there for them that knows exactly what their plight is and is there to support them.
Yeah, we have a support group where we text and we would compare. Are you experiencing hair loss? Are your joints swelling? Do you have rashes? What do you do? How do you cope? So we do have that support group that we can get into and chat and share our experiences and support each other. So we do have that.
What is what are your routines like to ensure that you are in the best possible health to live with lupus? What do you have to do?
Take a cocktail of medication.
The first thing for me personally would be not avoiding the doctor. Because it gets overwhelming having to see the doctor so many times. But they do it with love, they do it with care, and it's very important. Even though the emotional support group is there, the first thing we always say is go to the doctors. We're not medical practitioners, we're not nurses, we're not doctors. We can't tell you. We can tell you what works for us, but we will not tell you to go and get it.
Right.
Talk about it with your doctor. A day in the life is, for example, when I work, I go home and I get tired, and sometimes I don't even have the energy to eat. And I'm hungry, but I'm just so tired that I just want to go to sleep. And those are okay days for me, right?
Yeah.
Bad days are days where, as in, I will be at work and I have to say, a sudden pain comes on, and I have to reach out to my boss and be like, is it okay if I can leave? And having that community that understands you is super, super, super important. And that's what we want this year. We've been having people reaching out to us from different districts, right? And they had somebody with an idea that, well, we should come up with something maybe in the Cayo district, because a lot of people in Cayo, my family is from Benque, they're saying a lot of people are coming up with that. And so we're considering all of that, seeing who can reach out to us, but we don't know the people that want to help. So hopefully being on the air right now and us saying, hey, reach out to us, because we need help. We do need help.
How do you aspire to live a normal life given all of these challenges with your medical situation?
Any day that we can get up is a good day. That's how I look at it. Any day I can swing my feet off that bed and stand up is a good day, because there are days that you literally cannot do that. So that is a good day for any of us that can do that. But for me, it's a lot of mind over matter for me. I have to tell myself I'm going to get up. And today I'm going to go through the routine that I have to go through every day for my job, because lupus is so expensive. We have to be able to buy those medications. So you have to get up. You have to do what you have to do. And there are days when you literally feel like my bones are going to break, like they're shattering. But, you know, we have to find a way to push through.
And just to add on that, the motto that we try to say is be better or be bitter, right? Why Ms. Arlette says the mindset is because the mindset also triggers your emotions. And the first thing that triggers a flare-up is your emotional stress. So if you're not in a good headspace and say, hey, if I'm going to be upset, it's not going to take away the pain. But if I can say, okay, let me deal with this one day at a time, and I'm not saying that people don't have the right or we don't break down some days, but it's to get up every day and say, hey, let's try again tomorrow. Because if not, if you're just in that negative headspace, it just spirals more down and it gets worse.
Because stress is one of the key factors to bringing on a flare. It's one of the key things.
And a flare, as you ladies mentioned, would look like pains all over your body.
It's pain all over your body. Sometimes we get rashes.
I saw on the screen there that it mentioned that 1/3 of individuals with lupus may have those butterfly rashes.
Yes.
And that could be before you even are able to detect that you actually have lupus.
Yes.
And that's so dangerous because those rashes you would see if you're experiencing heat stress as well.
Right.
That's really sneaky.
Yeah. And that's what happens. So we tell people, if you have one of those symptoms, go get yourself tested. You know, the facts are that if I have an autoimmune disease, the probability is very high that one of my children would have an autoimmune disease. It doesn't necessarily mean that they would have lupus, but they would. It is very high that they would have an autoimmune disease.
That brings me to my next question. Is lupus something that is genetically inherited, or is it something that anyone can just really develop?
I know they say one of it is that it's genetically aligned, but that's not the only thing, and it's not for sure.
They're still doing the research, and that's why it's so big, even all over the world, to get funding for that research to see, okay, we're seeing that it has to do with genetics, but we can't say specifically it's that, because we have a lot of members that have kids, and their kids are perfectly healthy.
Ladies, as we share in this awareness with you this month and even after, how would you like us to support the association?
You know, we keep saying, like I said earlier, we don't want to be a one month a year association, but it's difficult. It's difficult to do it without the support. My wish is that we would have a space where people can, and I've been singing this for years, we just have not been able to do it, to have a space where people can come in and get the support that they can. We have had doctors who have said to us, you get that space, we will volunteer our time, you know? But it's difficult to do. We can't afford it. Really and truly, the association cannot afford it. Whatever funds we have is based off of the small fundraisers that we are able to do. Because there are times we want to do these fundraisers, but our bodies just don't allow us to, you know? So we do the t-shirt sales and that kind of thing to try to raise funds. And most of that funds do go to helping our members who need medication. We do medication drives throughout the year. We try to do one every quarter. And that costs us most of the time in excess of $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 for those medications that we want to give to our members. So the help that we ask for, we know our asks are usually sometimes big and out of the reach of a lot of people. But if you don't ask, how do you know what they can? Exactly. How do you know what you can get, you know? So we would like somebody to help us with a space where we can have somebody in there getting maybe a small stipend to be able to answer phones, answer questions, have doctors come in maybe once a week to see those persons who really and truly cannot afford to go to the doctors. We have doctors like Dr. Fernando Cuerra was one, and Dr. Hidalgo, who a lot of times when we go to them and you're a lupus patient, oh Lord, please don't go to Dr. Hidalgo and expect him to eat for free. But that's what he does sometimes because he knows of our situations, you know, and he would say to us, send them. We can call him and say, Doc, we have a patient, somebody who thinks they have lupus. These are the symptoms. Can you send them? You know, so if we could get that space, that would help us to help more people, that would be ideal.
And even more so, even for like the executive, like Ms. Arlette mentioned, we have been having a little bit of a tough time recently with everybody having flare-ups. So you don't have to have lupus, or you don't have to be directly affected by somebody in your family. We welcome anybody that can help us, and if they want to be part of the executive, when we can't do it, hey, this person can step up and take over, because we don't want the association to just go silent and dormant, you know?
The ideal thing is if it were persons without lupus who would be members of our executive, because a lot of times we want to do stuff and we can't. Somebody is hospitalized, we're sick. I have been in a flare for the last month and a half. But you know, we keep going
almost daily from us.
and I get these texts or these calls. Sit down. I see you moving there, and I see you doing this. Go sit down. I get that from my fellow executive members, but we can't. It's not. We don't have that luxury, really and truly. We don't.
Ladies, this has been an informative segment, but also my heart goes out to you, because I can see that this is something that you obviously care about, because it's impacting each one of you, and of course many other individuals that are probably suffering with this and don't even know. At this point, do you have a figure of how many individuals, if it's either a part of the association, that you know so far in Belize that are diagnosed with lupus?
So I think in our support group we have about 90 something, about 98 or so.
Yeah, and just in the support group.
Just in the support group.
Yeah, we've had at least 10 other people reach out.
It's far more.
Well, I'm hoping that anyone with the means to help can realize that with a number like that, that's only a part of the association.
Very small part of the people who do have it.
I could see how you guys would benefit from a structure where you can access the support that's needed. It might not always be monetary, financial support, but just simply having that physical person there who understands what your plight is, I think really makes a difference as well.
So I just want to talk, we're only trying to focus on 2 events, big events, and that's the Put On Purple Day. We ask people to buy our shirts. Our shirts were designed and printed by Genesis Arts, and so they've been helping us in marketing also. And
that's May 10th.
May 10th, which is World Lupus Day, and we're hoping to do the Put On Purple that same day, and we're hoping that we can do the Lupus Walk on May 18th.
So Lupus Walk, May 18th. Where will it start?
It starts normally at the Civic Center.
Okay.
And we go along the boulevard into Cemetery Road, Albert Street, King Street, Regent Street, Northfront Street, Memorial Park.
We're going to be uploading the flyers to the Facebook page. So you just type in Lupus and RA, Association of Belize on Facebook, and the information will be there.
Right.
So May 10th, get your shirts and have your shirts for May 18th.
Yes.
Where
and you can wear the shirt on May 10th too for the Put On Purple Day.
Wear them for both of the days.
Yes. And you want to wear it all month? I usually try to do that too. I try to wear something purple. I try to wear something purple for the month of May.
Ladies, thank you so much for stopping by and sharing with us just what this experience is like. And we wish you all the best in gathering the support that you need to help yourselves and, of course, help other persons that are also struggling with lupus.
Thank you for having us. And a little bit of awareness helps.
All right. We're going to take another quick break, and when we come back, the conversation switches into Rhythms Unite, a dance collaboration for a cause.
Hello, friends. I'm Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word. The Bible says that we are not to forsake the assembling of ourselves together, but are to encourage one another as we see the day of Christ's return near. A nobleman in Europe years ago illustrated to his friends the importance of church attendance. He had wanted to do something special for his village and finally decided to build them a church. No one saw the complete plans for the church until it was finished. When the people gathered, they marveled at its beauty. Then someone asked, "But where are the lamps? How will it be lighted?" The nobleman pointed to some brackets in the walls. Then he gave each family a lamp, asking them to bring them each time they came to worship. He explained to them as they brought their lamps that their area where they would be seated would be lighted, but that if they failed to come, that part of God's house would be dark. Let me ask you this personal question. If this procedure was followed in your church and village this Sunday, how much light would be in your church? Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Christian Foundations of Faith in cooperation with the Baptist churches in your area.
Greetings from the Ministry of Rural Transformation, Community Development, Labor, and Local Government. Today, as we commemorate Labor Day, let us take a moment to recognize the invaluable contribution of each worker in Belize. We appreciate the hard work, dedication, and the significant roles each worker plays in our country. It is the dedication and commitment of our workforce that drives Belize forward. In this rapidly evolving world of work, characterized by transformative changes and unprecedented challenges, it is critical that we adapt and innovate to ensure the well-being of our workers. As we reflect on the significance of Labor Day, let us consider the critical changes shaping our world of work and the proactive steps we are taking to respond to these changes. Our Ministry of Labor has been actively working on improving the working conditions and empowering our workforce. Through strategic initiatives and partnerships, we are laying the groundwork for a better future for our workers. We have embarked on a journey of digital transformation by upgrading our digital platforms and enhancing services like the temporary employment permit and the labor complaints management system, making them more efficient and user-friendly. Recognizing the evolving nature of the labor market, we are also undertaking a comprehensive review and modernization of the Labor Act enacted in 1960. With support of the International Labor Organization and collaboration of the Labor Advisory Board, we anticipate achieving a modernized Labor Act for Belize. We are also revising the Trade Union Act and the Trade Union and Employers Organization Act to streamline and enhance their relevance, which will improve industrial relations and protect the rights and interests of both workers and employers. Additionally, we are currently developing a new decent work country program with the International Labor Organization supported by the Labor Advisory Board. We have also initiated efforts to reintroduce the Occupational Safety and Health Bill. Through extensive engagement, we formulated recommendations to strengthen the bill and to create safer workplaces. After receiving approval from the Cabinet in January 2024, the bill is now under review by the Attorney General's Ministry before its reintroduction to the National Assembly. Furthermore, we have been actively ensuring the implementation of the $5 minimum wage increase, which became effective on January 1st, 2023. By monitoring and enforcing compliance, the Ministry is working closely with employers, providing advice and conducting routine inspections. To better prepare our national workforce, we have implemented a professional development training program for employment officers and established strategic partnerships for job preparedness training and employment initiatives, opening new opportunities for people to enhance their skills and access employment opportunities. Additionally, with support from the Inter-American Development Bank, we are conducting a diagnostic on the public employment services for Belize, aiming to modernize employment services by enhancing labor, intermediation, and migration management, along with digitalization efforts. Furthermore, we are combating the worst forms of child labor through various initiatives. Our comprehensive child labor awareness and education campaign has reached thousands of students, highlighted by educational sessions at a national poster competition. We have also signed memoranda of understanding with key industry associations to eradicate child labor from major industries. Finally, our public awareness and education efforts have reached thousands of Belizean workers and employers, enhancing understanding and compliance with labor laws and regulations across the country. As we celebrate these achievements, let us acknowledge the invaluable contributions of all our stakeholders, including our dedicated employees, employers, and all members of the boards and tribunals under the auspices of the Labor Department. Your support and collaboration are essential as we build a brighter future for all Belizeans. Thank you, and I extend my best wishes to all hardworking laborers and a happy Labor Day.
Welcome back. We're jumping into our third conversation this morning, and as we mentioned, we're going to be talking about Rhythms Unite, a dance collaboration for a cause. And we have here with us two representatives to talk to us about it. Althea Seeley is the representative of Belize National Dance Company, and she is joined by Jalen Craig, and she is representing Modern Dance Movement. Ladies, thank you so much, and welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Good morning, ladies.
Good morning. Good morning.
So Rhythms Unite. I have been told that a lot of people are already excited for this event, but let's talk about it. What is Rhythms Unite?
So Rhythms Unite is a collaboration between the Belize National Dance Company and Modern Dance Movement. We have been partnering for a few years now. This is actually a fundraising event, hence the reason, a dance collaboration for a cause. So we are fundraising for a trip to Poland in August to represent Belize at a traditional folk art festival.
Wonderful.
Nice.
Ladies, let's talk about what this collaboration has been like so far, because I imagine you have already been preparing for it. We're looking at two separate dance companies coming together for a worthy cause. What has that collaboration been like?
Well, for the students, it has been very exciting because we had to do auditions.
Oh.
We were only able to take 20 instead of 25 because we had plans for 25, but the budget was a little bit too high for 25, so we stick with the 20. And we had all the Jalen dancers, my dancers, we all came together. And at the end of last month, we finally decide to, tell who all is going after and which is good because everybody learn all the choreography, going or not going, they learn all of it. So they had fun doing that.
Why Poland?
So the Belize National Dance Company has for years been representing Belize in European festivals, and so through networking, through all of those tours, there was an organizer for this Poland Traditional Art Festival who has stayed in contact with the Belize National Dance Company for several years, and each year has been inviting Belize National Dance Company to apply. Yeah. And so since I've come back from New York in 2019 and has strengthened ties with BNDC, we chose to give it a go. And we applied in December of last year, and we were accepted in January.
Wow.
And likewise, we believe that this group that we have now, because the dance company has gone through many generations. And this generation has been, this group that we have now has been with us for over like 5, 6, 7 years. And we want them to experience what the previous members had experienced. So we decided to take up the task. We know it was going to be a lot of work, but we figured they deserve it.
So let's segue to you, Ms. Seeley, and your involvement with Dance in Belize for all these many years, and of course, the various transformations of the BNDC.
Right.
Talk to us about that.
Okay, yes. For Dance in Belize, you will find that there's a lot of turnover, but which is good because it helps us to have a bigger family in dance. And knowing that you were a member of the dance company makes us feel well, because when we have shows, we expect those amount of people that have passed through to assist us, you know, so that we could go along and continue to survive. So we have like 4 generations, because we'll be celebrating our 34th year to this year, and next year we'll do 35th. So it has been a good experience, you know, passing through different people and different, you know,
And
training and everything.
And for you, Jalen?
I think for Modern Dance Movement, we are very excited for this event. This collaboration, again, has been in the works for several years. We've tried last summer, for instance, where dance company had a performance, and so we rallied some of my teen dancers. So it's not only strengthening ties between the two companies, but it also increases the dancers' versatility in the different forms of dance.
So let's talk about the event and the preparation leading up to going to Pollen. Of course, we can't go with you, but we'd still want to know a bit of some insights on what exactly you'll be taking in terms of your presentation.
Okay, we will be taking our 2 culture, and we just added the Mayan. Jalen has a choreography with the pok, pok, pok.
It's a choreography influenced by the Pok-ta-Pok sport or game.
It's the Creole and the Garifuna. We'll take the contemporary Garifuna. I'm going to make that clear. It's contemporary, because we normally leave the traditional for the Garifunas, so that they know the difference between what is a stage presentation just to have fun and the other side of it. So, and the Creole section.
Wow. So I'm intrigued particularly by the Pok-ta-Pok piece, because we know Pok-ta-Pok as a sport. How have you been able to transform that into a dance piece, Jalen?
It was really interesting, also challenging, and so I was very interested following a demonstration that I saw in March at the House of Culture, a stakeholders appreciation event held there by Niche. And they had Miss Felicita Canton with her players, and they literally demonstrated it on the stage at House of Culture, and holding the ball itself. You'd think this ball is really light because they're hitting it with their hips, but no, it's far from being light. Very heavy. And so it just had a lot of inspiration and creativity within me, and it's been a journey. We have 3 male dancers who are performing this piece inspired by the sport, Pok-ta-Pok.
This event in Poland, is it something that is a stage to share what is being done in different areas over the world, or is it a competition?
No.
Okay.
What normally happens at the festivals, they share with the borderlines of their country. Like, for instance, when we're in Spain, we do borders of France and borders of Spain between, well, France and Spain is close, but different areas. Yeah. We go in the remote areas to share the culture because of the distance where people live all the way up in the mountains. They don't come to the city much to see presentations, so they take us there. And we perform for the children home, the senior citizens home. So most of it is just free, so that they could learn about the other cultures in the world. And they will have certain presentations that you will have to pay, but that's mainly in cities.
Wow.
But in the more remote areas, no, they don't charge.
What are the feedback that you get from these different individuals when you travel and they see what is unique to Belize in dance?
Well, I'll say 2 things. What's unique when they do meet with us is our faces. Because other countries, everybody's face looks the same. But whenever they meet with Belizeans, they said, all of you all are Belizeans, because we take Spanish, Garifuna, Creole. So that's the first thing that really, the diversity of our, that's the first thing that attracts them. And likewise, they enjoy our folk dance because they tell stories in it. Most of our dances that we take between the Garifuna and the Creole is a little storyline behind it. So if they don't, they will understand by the movements.
Wonderful. Ladies, I know the event is set to take place May 11th, but for persons who are watching and they're instantly intrigued, how can they purchase these tickets? Give us the time, the location.
We are grateful that we will have the Bliss offering to sell tickets for us. So starting today, I believe, the Bliss office will have tickets on sale. So it will be taking place at the Bliss Center for Performing Arts next week, Saturday, May 11th at 7 in the evening. Since it is a fundraising event, the lower tier tickets go for $30 and the upper tier or the balcony will go for $20.
Wonderful. And I know that you ladies are already organized and who will be representing us at Pollen, but as it relates to your individual dance groups or dance companies, are you able to share if there are any spaces for persons who may be interested in joining?
Of course, we always have space.
Okay.
We never refuse dancers.
Okay.
We always have space.
So if anyone would like to join.
But not for now. I mean, after we return and finish our
Okay.
You know, we always have opening space.
So if persons would like to join your individual dance groups, how can they reach out to you?
Okay, they can reach out on our Facebook page. We have a messenger area where they can chat with us and share, because that's been happening, right? You read one the other day, right? Somebody was interested, and that's how we, you know, get members. But these dancers that are with us now, they have been with us at least 5-6 years and holding the fort, because the turnover is really fast.
Wow, wow. Let's use this final opportunity to share with our viewers why they should come out and support.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, as I always say, for them to motivate us, or for us to be motivated, we always appreciate the support that people gives us. We appreciate that they appreciate us, and likewise encourage us. So they can come out and either support us by coming to our show and giving us the opportunity to help this generation to experience what it is to do a tour.
Not only will the audience enjoy a wonderful evening with different forms of dancing and age groups, but also it is a fundraising event. So it's a great way to assist or to support our road to Poland. And so this trip to Poland is not only a way for us to represent Belize and to showcase our many dance forms and traditions, but also it is a way for us to connect and to network. And who knows who we will meet over there that can not only just enjoy how we perform, but also can enhance our way of teaching and creating different forms to just keep our culture alive through dance.
Wonderful. Ladies, thank you so much for stopping by, giving us the scoop on what to expect come May 11th, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you, and thanks for having us.
All right, we're going to take another quick break, and when we come back, the conversation switches into celebrating Principals Day. Stay with us. I'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Leah Mangar, and I am currently the Administrative Assistant at Yasche Conservation Trust here in beautiful Punta Gorda. I received the Social Security Board Scholarship in the year of 2021. After I was told that I was a successful recipient of this scholarship, I was very grateful. This scholarship has assisted me in various ways. Firstly, it relieved me of financial constraints. So that was the main obstacle that was keeping me back. But receiving this scholarship allowed me to gain the skills and the knowledge that I needed to attain the job that I currently have. I would just encourage you all to apply to the scholarship. And the process is very, very easy. You will find a link and it will direct you to everything that you need in order to submit your application. And once you submit it, pray and just hope for the best, because you just will never know if you can get it.
My name is Leomar Langzert, and I'm a teacher, and I bank with Belize Bank Independence Branch. What I enjoy is the safety features that the app offers. I have a sense of not having to worry or be concerned about somebody finding my password and username to sign in the application because of the use of the one-time password. And another feature that I love, that I use the most, is how the app synchronizes with my fingerprint on my device. I enjoy the rapid and easy, seamless process to apply for loans through the Belize Bank, and I don't have to be having too much back and forth to visit or take time to visit the bank. They also start to offer the online applications through the app for loan applications, which I believe is very neat. I would definitely recommend Belize Bank to other teachers because one of all the features and advantages that the app offer, with these online that Belize Bank offered, is basically everything that you can do in the palm of your hand. So I would definitely recommend the bank to other teachers.
Prepare for the heat and stay cool with the Reamer Gree air conditioning unit from Benny's. Choose the right BTU unit size for your bedroom or living room and enjoy complete comfort. You can also save money with an inverter unit that is energy efficient. When the heat is on, stay cool and comfortable with an affordable, dependable AC unit from Ream or Gree. Available at Benny's. Quality and savings.
For 19 years, SMART has been the pulse of our nation. A journey of growth, innovation, resilience, and unity.
From the first call that bridged distances to the data that brought us closer than ever, SMART has been there, weaving threads of connection across our beautiful land.
We have been active in providing innovative solutions to enhance our customers' lifestyles. Over the years, SMART has developed and provided various services to meet customers' needs.
To the dreamers, doers, and the believers, thank you for making SMART a part of your story. For 19 years of trust, loyalty, partnership, and shared experiences.
As we celebrate 19 years of connecting lives and dreams, let's keep the rhythm alive. Together, let's continue to shape our future one connection at a time.
Come and be a part of the SMART family, where we empower you and our country today, tomorrow, and beyond.
SMART, bringing people together.
Isani Cayetano, Marian Ali, Paul Lopez, Brittany Gordon. Your News 5 Belize teams do whatever it takes. Go wherever they need to go, so you can catch the story wherever you are, whenever you want, on whatever device. Channel 5 Belize on television, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Because news is now everywhere, all the time. And so are we.
Whether you're at home, on the road, at work, or at school, if you see news happening or suspect that something might be up, call or text the Channel 5 News Belize tip line at 672-5555. You don't have to give us your name, just give us the tip. That's 672-5555. Call or text us so we can check it out.
When someone you love becomes a memory, the memory becomes a treasure. Channel 5 introduces the Daily Obituaries. The Daily Obituaries will broadcast all death and funeral announcements and memorials to honor your loved one's life and memories. The Daily Obituaries airs on Channel 5 prior to the evening newscast, with subsequent repeats at 10 p.m. and 12 noon the following day. It will also be placed online on our social media platforms, all for a standard package fee. Celebrate their lives and memories with Channel 5's Daily Obituaries. Honor in life and reverence in death.
Are you looking for low-cost television advertising? Have we got a deal for you? Advertise on Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds is one of the most effective methods for introducing yourself and your business to the community. Use our Daily Classifieds to recruit employees, promote specials, promote your products or services, promote a business opportunity, increase traffic to your website, and advertise items you have for sale. Let us help you to save valuable time and money. Call us today at 280-0013 or visit us at our offices on Coney Drive to discuss how we can help your business grow affordably. Channel 5 Daily Classifieds. Advertise today.
And welcome back. There has been a slight change in our lineup for the show this morning. Joining us in studio are the representatives of the annual Belize Chocolate Festival. We have with us Dennis Garbott. He's the president of the BTIA Toledo chapter. Good morning, Dennis.
Good morning. Thanks for having us here.
We also are joined by Juan Cho. He's the owner of Ish Cacao. Good morning, Juan.
Good morning. Good morning.
And of course, in the middle is Diane Coy. She's a managing director of the Maya Mountain Cacao Limited.
Good morning.
Folks, good morning.
Good morning
Thanks.
again and welcome.
Let's begin by talking about the rich chocolate culture that has taken hold of southern Belize. Let's start with you,
Yes.
Dennis.
Good morning again, everybody. We've been going at it. This is going to be our 16th year celebrating the Chocolate Festival of Belize. And we started off this thing by trying to get people into Toledo and to make sure that we, the economic situation down there is needy. And at the end of the day, we have a natural product that grow in the rainforest, that grow in Toledo, and it's the cacao. That same pod sitting right in front of us there. And with that cacao and with the tourism sector, which I represent, we're trying to bring people down to enjoy Toledo, but not only enjoy Toledo, also enjoy the birthplace of chocolate, the birthplace of cacao.
Yeah.
Whereby they will be able to see. I remember in 2007 when we just started, there was only a few chocolatiers, right? I mean, next to us we have Huang and we have Miss Koi, and they both represent different chocolatiers and chocolate manufacturing process. The way that work is that Toledo grow the cacao, it's there, but now we need to showcase it and capitalize on it in terms of making sure that people enjoy Toledo but understand how the cacao industry works. So the farmers play an important role in it. The cacao farmers does. The producers, to the extent the chocolatiers, like I said, we went from 2 chocolatiers to well over 10. A time ago you couldn't buy a bar that made in Punta Gorda or in Toledo district or in Belize. Now we have a lot of them and some really fine chocolate. For example, the event that we're having, the chocolate gala, it's going to happen up at Kupal Tree Lodge, and they are also a producer of really top fine organic cacao and chocolate. So it is a rich, it is a part of the Maya tradition and the people tradition in the south. You got the cacao drink, which my buddies are going to talk more about. You have a lot of different ways they incorporate the cacao into their daily life. So it is something that, like Huang Shirt said, cacao will save the rainforest, So it is something that we need to continue to showcase. But I want to highlight this. The month of May is what we call the chocolate month. If you look at Bellikin, for example, who is a major sponsor here as well, Bellikin is producing a chocolate stout, and they have been doing that annually this time of year so that we could showcase what Belize have to offer in terms of chocolate.
Let's go over to Juan and find out from you what piqued your interest about chocolate for you to get into this particular industry.
Well, it's Anna, I could tell you everything about cacao. I often believe that my blood type is vitamin C.
I love that.
Chocolate,
Yeah.
So I must say thanks to the media, give thanks to the Belize Tourism Industry Association, BTIA Toledo, the Belize Tourism Board for giving us such exposure, but the people that also made us who we are. I'm grateful for my great-grandparents. See, my great-grandfather lived to 115.
Wow.
And this guy goes to his farm, comes back with a big bag of cacao, And as he lands down his cacao, my grandmother right there sort of give him a big bowl of hot cacao to drink.
Wow.
You know, at 115 and having that stamina, you know, of working all day, that energy, is certainly something to question about. And for me, my parents were growing cacao, and we were drinking cacao, eating cacao. And of course, when I got married 26 years ago, we were celebrating 26 years of our wedding anniversary between myself and my wife, which is the chocolate queen.
Nice.
Our dish that was given to us upon your wedding day wasn't a typical one. It was a chocolate chicken dish.
Wow, nice.
Chocolate chicken.
You have to share that recipe one of the ideas.
That would be such a great feature.
That's why we're here. We want to extend this invitation to the general public. You know, we want everybody from the north, from the west, from the east, you know, all the keys, come out to Toledo and experience what the rich culture, the culinary diversities that we have down south in Toledo. So coming from that background of who I am, the rich culture of the Maya culture that I fall into, has given me the inspirations, I would say, to move into the value-added aspect of the product that we have. Today, of course, we supply the Belize Brewing Company exclusively for the chocolate stout. And I can remember, Isane, when you went down to our farm.
Many years ago.
Many years ago,
that
when
was
we
like my first coverage of Cacao Fest.
Exactly, when we made it start. And we started off from literally $0, 0 cents working capital. And from that day forward, we've been on the go, on the grind. In 2009, Discovery Channel from How Stuff Works actually documented our processing, because we were making not only chocolate bars, but we're also making cacao wine, and which you can see on the table representing that signature wine from the fruit. The fruit contains sugars. When fermented, gives you the wine, and you can also get the jam. So the many products you can get from cacao. It's just to encourage other young farmers who wish to venture into cacao farming. How can you benefit from cacao? What products can you get from cacao? Certainly, chocolate bars, cacao wine, cacao jam, soaps, ceremonial cacao. The beans could be marketed. The butter, for all our external appearance, very rich in vitamin E.
Let's talk about that aspect, because I mean, I think the general population associates cacao with chocolate, but we don't often speak about the nutritional value, the benefits, the vitamins, for not only the inside but the outside that comes from this bean right here. What are those?
Well, those are just so much. There's about at least 500 to 600 chemical compounds inside the cacao. Besides, you have your proteins, you have your fat, carbohydrates, iron, magnesium, zinc. You know, all these health benefits, you're looking at your vitamin A, your vitamin B complex, found in cacao. So cacao is literally a superfood. Hence the reason it's referred to as the food of the gods. So I'm privileged, and that my great-grandparents and my grandparents that lived to 115. I don't wish to live 115, but if I do, I would love to live every second of those lives eating cacao, enjoying what I do best.
And your shirt also says that it saves the rainforest.
Most certainly. Because when one questions where does chocolate come from, you know, one would immediately say Hershey's, you know, and for us, it's not necessarily the case. We have one we call bean to bar, and we have one we call bean to the root. And from the bean to the root, there are several cultures that have connection with the cacao. For us, cacao is harvested from a tree, and this tree can grow up to at least 40 feet in height, which makes it another addition to the rainforest. So instead of practicing agricultural practices like slash and burn agriculture, maybe that's not the appropriate technology to practice. Maybe planting a cacao tree that will benefit you and your family and your generations to come.
Because it becomes a permanent crop.
It is a permanent crop. It is a tree, and it grows under other existing trees. So when you plant a cacao, you cater for your baby, for the baby when you're born yet. Right? Just like how my great-grandparents may plant for me, here I am celebrating cacao.
Yeah.
So yes, I must say that chocolate can save the rainforest if you learn the values from cacao.
Here's a fun fact, perhaps for those of you guys who are watching at home who may not know. Cacao and the chocolate seed was once legal tender, right? It was used as money.
For us, certainly, when the Maya civilization was flourishing its high peak, cacao beans was literally the official currency of the Maya. So money was growing on trees.
Literally.
Literally.
For example, you have a bunch of cacao beans in your pocket and you're going to the store, you're going to buy eggs. You know, 2 cacao beans would value the price of an avocado, for example, while 12 to 15 cacao beans buys you a domesticated bird or a rabbit.
Yeah.
You know, so think about the value exchange. So yes, you're right on that one. So chocolate to the rescue.
Let's get Diane in on our conversation. Maya Mountain Cacao. Talk to us about that particular business and how you got involved as well.
Okay, so we're thankful for BTIA for involving us and partnering with us this year for the Chocolate Festival. And Maya Mountain Cacao, well, we source wet cacao beans from smallholder farmers in the Toledo district. A lot of times you hear, oh, farmers are not highlighted. Well, this is what we do. We purchase all the cacao from those 450 farmers. 46 of them are female farmers. That is then transported to our facility and processed into the raw material, which is the beans that Juan normally uses to make his chocolate, soaps, butter, etc. And so this is what we do. We source those wet beans. These farmers make an income from these, from selling their beans to Maya Mountain Cacao. It is then processed. We have a processing facility. It goes through a fermentation process, 7-day fermentation, indirect sunlight drying, direct sunlight drying, and then it is packaged. We supply all the majority of the local chocolatiers in Belize, and of course our main thing is to export these organic cacao outside of Belize, and it's all organic. All these 450 farmers are certified organic. Like Juan mentioned, we practice chocolate save the rainforest, yes, because the organic farming comes with, you know, these farmers have to practice these sustainable farmings. We're not allowed to like slash and burn. We incorporate, you know, agroforestry within those farms. So majority of these farms would have other cash crops that, you know, farmers would use to make an income while cacao is not in season, because the cacao production season is normally, or the harvesting season is normally April, May, March, April, and May. That's the peak, April being the peak. And then we have a slow harvest season that is normally October, November, December. So that is normally when these farmers would be making an income from their cacao. And for majority of them, this is their main source of income. And so we're in this chocolate festival committee to highlight these farmers. And we became a part because we're going to have a cacao cup that is, you know, on the final closing off the chocolate festival weekend, where these farmers, we will be battling it out through a football marathon for a grand prize of $1,000, second $750, and third is $500. But at the same time, we are going to be highlighting these farmers throughout the day's activity. There will be stage activities, different competitions going on, and it's a day for farmers to connect and other, you know, guest visitors to come and connect with the farmers, feel, you know, converse with them, feel what it's like to live a farmer's day life. Yeah. So.
That's certainly a unique experience. I think that any person would be able to get attending the festival. I mean, we have some of the products here on display, like cacao nibs. Let's wrap up by just highlighting some of the things you can expect, of course, the location, the date, and the time as well.
So let's kick off by this Saturday, for example, on the 4th. We're doing what we call a chocolate cruise, right? Nice. And we're starting off at Trills. We're going up to Kupal. So Trills is this new restaurant in town. We're going up to Kupal Tree Lodge, where, for example, the ticket only costs $75. When you go up to Kupal, you'll be doing the rum tasting. You know, just that tour alone costs a bit. You know, you'll be experiencing how they do the chocolate manufacturing. And also, you'll be having your sweet treats on the bus.
Mm-hmm.
We have a bartender on the bus. We have Tim from Sauce and Ice, which is up the road by a little bit above Big Falls. Then when we come back, when we continue upwards, we're going to stop at Maya Mountain facility and see how they get the beans from the farmers and how they process the whole stuff. And then we move on from there. We're going to come down to Jungle View, where we're going to meet Huang and Ish Cacao doing their thing. But that's on the 4th. So get your ticket early because it's right here next Saturday coming. And it's limited. We already sell quite a bit. And James Bus Line is helping us out with that. We're using one of their nice bus. So it's just going to be a really good chocolate cruise to get an idea how the whole chocolate industry works. And then we move into the 17th of May. It's a Friday. Our road leads to Kupaltree Lodge, where we have the chocolate gala. Right? That starts at 7, goes until midnight. It's going to be one of those places, festive, where you meet a lot of people. People will be having a good time, the finger food, the wine. You meet the chocolatiers, you know, it's just going to be a good time. Yeah.
A full lineup you have there.
Yes, and then Saturday, we're working in collaboration with the Town Council. They'll be running a pool tournament. I think that one of the prizes $3,000 for the first place, but they're getting people from all over. And that's also to help with the economic drive in Toledo. So the festival, it's not just a celebration, but it's helping people as well. So we then move into celebrating chocolate. That happened at the George Price Plaza, again with collaboration with the Town Council, and it goes from 4 in the evening till about 10 that night. And then on Saturday night, there is opportunity for other business to make things happen, and that's where the young people come into play, and they formed the group known as Chocolate Wasted, and they've been going at it for quite some time now, and they'll be having the after party at Roots Rock Reggae. Nice. And then we move into Sunday morning at 9, we kick off at Big Falls. Big Falls is where Maya Mountain is taking the lead by having the Cacao Cup. Again, Huang will be up there, chocolatiers will be there, farmers will be there. It will be a place where you could come out and enjoy. They're working in collaboration with the village council. And of course, we definitely have the police involved in everything for safety purpose. But all in all, in a cacao shell, that's what we'll be doing.
Yeah, in a cacao shell. I love that. I gotta use that.
Yeah.
All things chocolate, all things cacao. Guys, thanks so much for stopping by. We appreciate the information, and I'm sure you will be seeing someone here from Channel 5 taking that tour of all the events taking place. Mr. Juan, I have one question for you, or one request, really. The next time you stop by, please bring chocolate chicken. We want to try that.
I welcome you.
All right. We might just take that offer.
I welcome you to sit with the chocolate queen, and she will give you all the recipe.
We'll take it.
I know about eating, she knows about the cooking.
We'll take it. All right. We'll see her soon.
Juan sounds like a wedding singer.
We have our final break to take, though, and when we come back, as we mentioned, we'll be jumping into celebrating Prince of Paul's Day. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
For 19 years, SMART has been the pulse of our nation. A journey of growth, innovation, resilience, and unity.
From the first call that bridged distances to the data that brought us closer than ever, SMART has been there, weaving threads of connection across our beautiful land.
We have been active in providing innovative solutions to enhance our customers' lifestyles. Over the years, SMART has developed and provided various services to meet customers' needs.
To the dreamers, doers, and the believers, thank you for making SMART a part of your story. For 19 years of trust, loyalty, partnership, and shared experiences.
As we celebrate 19 years of connecting lives and dreams, let's keep the rhythm alive. Together, let's continue to shape our future one connection at a time.
Come and be a part of the SMART family, where we empower you and our country today, tomorrow, and beyond.
SMART, bringing people together.
Design Depot, your all-in-one destination for transforming your living spaces. Explore the world of GE with our selection of cutting-edge appliances for functional, convenient, and modern living. Find solutions for every paint project, from home to industrial, with our extensive selection of Sherwin-Williams paints and coatings. Safeguard your home with the durability of our weather-resistant windows and doors. Elevate your kitchen and bath with the timeless elegance of Kohler sinks and faucets. Transform your space with our constantly refreshed tile inventory, always embracing the latest tile trends. Design Depot, your source for innovation, inspiration, and impeccable design. Design Depot, all in one place.
13,835,700 eggs are eaten by tourists each year, fueling our thriving economy. Tourism means business.
I'm David Humes. This is Vanessa Humes. We own Ladyville Cool Spot. Belize Bank save us a lot of time. Working with them, we can keep track exactly what we spend. We recommend Belize Bank 100% because we don't have to go to stand up in line, and we can check on our account right from our house. Working with Belize Bank is the best.
Are you looking for low-cost television advertising? Have we got a deal for you? Advertise on Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds is one of the most effective methods for introducing yourself and your business to the community. Use our Daily Classifieds to recruit employees, promote specials, promote your products or services, promote a business opportunity, increase traffic to your website, and advertise items you have for sale. Let us help you to save valuable time and money. Call us today at 280-0013 or visit us at our offices on Coney Drive to discuss how we can help your business grow affordably. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Advertise today.
Welcome back. We're having our final conversation this morning. And as we mentioned, did you know it's Principals Day? School Principals Day, that is. We have here with us 3 principals to talk about why we should value our principals. We have here with us Karen Canto, and she is the principal of Edward P. Ark High School. Deborah Martin in the middle, and she is the principal of Sadie Vernon Technical High School. And Deborah Domingo, principal of Maud Williams High School. Ladies, thank you so much. And happy Principals Day.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. Let's talk about the value that principals bring to schools. Let's begin with you, Ms. Canto.
Okay. All right. Like I said earlier, I just found out there is such a day yesterday. I'm honored. And sitting with these ladies here, I am the youngest of the principals, as in years of being a principal.
Ah, okay.
All right. So I am definitely honored to be here with them. But I believe that the role of the principal is definitely the vision bearer. And you're the person who will, we would lead. I believe that, when we lead, then people will follow. If we are not leading, there's nothing to follow. Mm-hmm. And the vision of the school, it's not all on us by ourselves. I was thinking lately that being at EPR for so many years, being a principal is simply because I am following. As I'm leading, I am following in those men who have gone before me and a dear woman that was my principal when I was there. But definitely we take the vision, we take it, and if we do it well, then our staff or all the stakeholders, be it our teachers, our parents, and the community itself that invests in EPR, they have something to follow. So
yeah.
I'm honored to be in this position.
You know what I think is worthy of highlighting, if we didn't already think of it, is the fact that we have 3 women here with us on set as leaders of institutions. Ladies, we already got Ms. Canto talking about what it is for her as a principal or as a leader of an institution, but let's get the other 2 Ms. Deborahs in.
Yes.
What is it like for you guys being leaders of your respective institutions?
Well, definitely we have to give support to everyone. I know that they would say that the adults know it all, but at all sector or every level, you must give support, especially since you know that mental health nowadays is an issue. So definitely giving support to everybody is important. I know our job is very demanding, and as leaders, we need to be empathetic. We need to have integrity and have a genuine respect for all, right? Especially our students, because they're the ones that have us there in the position that we are in.
Ms. Domingo, how long have you been a principal?
Well, I spent almost 5 years at St. Vernon High School back then as a principal, and in my current role at Maud Williams, this is year 3.
Okay.
And in between that, there were other roles in the education sector. But I think the principal's role is, for me, one of the most professionally gratifying niche to occupy. I know that my colleagues spoke to the principal being the vision bearer in terms of providing support for teachers. For me, it's the same, but it is also about finding the right balance. You need to be a leader in several areas, as a curriculum leader, somebody who is astute as far as organizational leadership and so on. But you also take on the role of cheerleader. You really help to set the tone. I think we often hear about teachers being that decisive element in the classroom. Well, the principal brings that decisive element at the school level, because he or she really sets the tone and influences the culture and the climate in profound ways.
That's true.
And so I am certain that we can identify research that has been done about how pivotal the role of the school leader is for schools' success.
Absolutely. I can remember, I think almost every person can express who their favorite teacher is, but in the same breath, you can't forget that principal that left a mark on you. At wherever institution you spent your time, I'm sure that everyone can remember at least one principal that they passed through, and they can say that was a great leader, because you could feel it in the atmosphere of the school. You can feel it in the way that you show up to school, that you want to be there in the first place.
That's right.
So I have to commend you ladies for the role that you carry. I imagine the responsibility might feel heavy at times, but as you mentioned, Ms. Domingo, the rewards are sweet. You feel it. You feel gratified by it.
That's right. That's right.
Talk to us about the journey that you guys have undergone so far, because you, Ms. Cantor, are saying that you're the youngest of the bunch as far as principalship is concerned, but you didn't just get there. No. It's a process that you had to perhaps undergo to arrive at where you are in terms of leadership. Talk to us about that journey.
Okay, my journey as an educator began many years ago, quite a lot. As a teacher, definitely, I had role models on staff that I followed.
Yeah.
Because I started very young, and so literally there was one teacher in particular that she looked at me and said, "Karen, I go left, you go left.
Yeah.
I go right, you go right." I was 20 years old at the time, and I credit a lot of that modeling, what she did for me, to who I am in the teaching. I do love to teach. I've not stopped loving teaching. I grew from that teacher to becoming a head of department, and what she did for me, I did for my department. So whatever I was doing, I shared with them. I kept nothing from them because I believe it was my responsibility to. We used to say at EPR, they come with we could still see the milk in their teeth, but we will build them and we will grow them. And so I did that for years. Then when Mr. Cardenas and Mr. Genete, they picked me up and they're like, all right, and they guided me. They started sending me to principals meeting and to, I think my first meeting was the regular 21st September parade meeting, and I sat in for them. And being at our board meeting, they would invite me to listen, and being groomed, literally, being groomed into the position. EPRC has had a history of the administrators coming from the staff itself. And so when it was my turn, and I've said that, anyone who know me know that any day I would have stayed in the biology lab, right? But definitely it was my turn to lead, and I took it on. I prayed about it. I said, because I love teaching CXC Bio, I would stay there. And today I learned a lot from these ladies. Debbie knows that I've called her enough time. Ms. Domingo I will call, and they never not answer my call, you know? And there are many other principals in the city and across this nation that I can call, and as far south as I need to, or north, and they will answer. So this is my 4th year, you know, and being in this position, I don't feel that I have arrived, far from it. I can call my former principals, and I can call these current principals, and they're always there. They're always there. Lately, our printer died on us. And I said, well, if I remember, we could call Gwen Liz, or we could call somebody to print the exams, call another school, things like this we can do for each other. You know, if we need help, we can ask each other in anything and everything.
That's excellent.
And, so I believe my journey has never been just me alone, but there have always been people guiding me, you know, walking this path kind of thing. So I appreciate it.
Excellent.
And for you other ladies, let's get a brief idea of your journey arriving to this leadership role.
In my case, when I was younger, I always tutored the neighborhood kids. So I knew I had it in me. I had an aunt who taught at the primary level. And eventually, when I finished from the University College of Belize, now UB, I decided to go into the teaching profession, and I started at Infant 1. So I had to be very theatric with my presentations for lessons at that level. Eventually I moved on to secondary level, and when I met my principal, now deceased, Mr. Price, he said, you know what, you're coming from that background, I'd like you to step into the role of a head of department. And me, really? So I said, okay, I'm going to try it. I served many years in that role, teaching English for the years at Maud Williams, formerly St. Michael's College. And then I eventually moved into the role, working hard to be in that role of vice principal, and eventually Sadie Vernon stole me, so I'm at Sadie Vernon. I'm serving from 2014 to now. So basically, my thing was always to work with others, practicing the golden rule, and now practicing the platinum rule, which is to treat people the way they would like to be treated. So I'm now embracing that. We had our recent professional development session at a conference, and I learned that from the main presenter, Dr. Dion, if I'm getting her name correct. But basically, every day it's a work in progress for us. We have to be self-aware of our strengths and the areas that we need to grow in. And there are many learning opportunities around, so day by day we learn from the people we collaborate with, work with students, teachers, other support staff. So basically that has been my journey, continuously learning along the way.
Wonderful.
And so I think the two principals spoke to the extent to which leadership is cultivated, and I think for most of us it's that same kind of environment we found ourselves in, with people who were supportive of your growth. I had my origins as a high school chemistry and biology teacher back in the day at Wesley College, and then moved on after being the head of department there for a while to ACC as vice principal, and then to Sadie Vernon as principal. I stepped out of the secondary sector for a while to St. John's Junior College, and then as a general manager of schools, and then as CEO for the Ministry of Education for a while, and now back at Maud Williams as a principal. But were it not for very supportive professionals who were able to identify, you know, the potential for leadership, I would not be here. So credit goes to a whole heap of people along the way. You know, Olida Gill way back when, Brenda Armstrong, Derek Satchwell, awesome school leaders and good people to have, to be a part of your formation as a school leader. And it is certainly my hope that exiting the profession, I would have left that kind of very positive and deliberate impact on the leadership coming after.
Wonderful. Ladies, we're short for time, but we wanted to say thank you so much for the leadership that you have been providing for all these years, and I imagine you will continue to provide even outside of this role as high school principal or school principal in general. Thank you so much, and we wish you all the best.
Well, yeah, thanks. We celebrate education in the month of May. We don't have a Belize School Principals Day.
We have it now.
But this is the year for it.
Yes, we have it now.
So this is the first. So
we started it.
For all those school leaders, happy Principals Day.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, thank you. Thanks for having us.
Much, guys.
Well, we want to say also a special thank you to all of our other guests who stopped by this morning for our jam-packed Wednesday morning show. It was a wonderful show. But it is May 1st, the start of a new month, and we have a birthday shout out. One actually in-house. We're saying happy birthday to Randy, and he's actually not here. He probably ran out of the studio. But anyways, he is our in-house cameraman. He's actually controlling one of those very cameras that you were looking at us through. But we want to say happy birthday to him. And if you're celebrating a birthday today as well, happy birthday to you. If you'd like to give a birthday shout out, or if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can send us an email at oie@channel5belize.com. You can also catch us on Facebook at Open Your Eyes BZ, as well as Instagram at OYE Belize. Thank you so much for joining us, and please do us a favor and join us again tomorrow as you open your eyes.
Start your morning right.
Until then, keep your eyes, your mind,
and your hearts open.
Have a wonderful Wednesday.
Open Your Eyes was brought to you by the Belize Bank. Our country, your bank.